welcome to Delightful, Delicious, Delovely. My name is Christina Lees, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to steal somebody else's recipe. I am going to make Tabitha Brown's deviled eggs, or my version of her idea for deviled eggs. I'm going to sniff. I don't know what my fucking problem is. Her idea, she dreamt it apparently, and then she successfully manifested it in her kitchen. I don't know if you're aware of her show. She's got a huge vegan following for her show, and she's so cheerful. She's so happy, joy. It's great. So her dream had her put mushroom caps, white mushroom caps, and soak them overnight in pickle juice. I used this pickle juice. By the way, this jar of pickles costs $5.99. The jar that's half the size costs $5.49. So while this takes up a lot of real estate in my fridge, it's like free pickles. Anyway, you can see I drained some pickle juice from the top of this, put it in another pickle jar. I added some, as she recommended. This is black salt. I have it from other things I've made with black salt. It smells eggy, or if I'm going to be churlish, it smells like farts. So I put a little bit of this in the jar of pickles, pickle juice with a pinch of black salt in it. And I soaked them overnight. They look a little green. They're a little bit green. Not the prettiest. This is meant to be the boiled egg, hard-boiled egg, the white part of the hard-boiled egg. They're not as pretty as a white hard-boiled egg would be, but hey, I'm going to try it. She seemed to like it. It was very intriguing to me, so I'm doing it. So what I have here is I took a can of garbanzo beans or chickpeas, and I drained them, and I pureed them in this with as little water as I could manage. I had to do it a couple times to get it to mash with as little water as possible, because I don't want runny egg yolk. This is meant to be the egg yolk. I also saved is it aguafaba? Aguafaba. This is the drained juice from the can of chickpeas. This apparently can be used and whipped into like a meringue, which I've never tried, but I thought I'd try it later. But that's the juice from the chickpeas. Set aside for later. So I'm going to take, I whip it as, I did it in this little bullet thing. Use a blender, use a food processor, use whatever you have to do to get it really smooth, because if you've ever had a deviled egg, the egg yolk is really creamy. So you want that texture. And you don't want it to be too runny, or it won't have the right texture, basically. Alright, so that's my chickpeas. And I'm not using her recipe for this part, because she used sweet relish in it, and I don't like sweet relish really at all. And I don't like it in my deviled eggs. So if I were to make a deviled egg, I would add these things. I would add vegan mayonnaise. This is almost gone. I hope I have enough. You don't need much, because this is meant to cream up the egg yolk, which isn't creamy on its own, but it is when you've added this stuff. So I'm not going to add too much of it, because it's already pretty creamy. So that was about, this is a can of chickpeas. That was a healthy tablespoon of mayonnaise. We'll see how that goes if I need more. I'm going to add a teaspoon or so of, this is Dijon mustard. A little yellow mustard. She used yellow mustard because the yellow mustard was for color. Let me fetch that. Let me get some yellow just for color too. Yellow mustard. So I'm going to add just a little bit of that. Yeah. That was not even a teaspoon of that. I don't usually put this in my deviled eggs. This is horseradish, prepared horseradish. I'm going to put a little bit in there. This is like a half a teaspoon. I'm adding more to this than I would add to an actual deviled egg, because this isn't egg. I would have stopped at mayonnaise, Grey Poupon, and a squirt of Crystal is my favorite hot sauce. Crystal hot sauce is also cheap. It's like $1.50 or something at the store. It's really great hot sauce. I would stop with those 3 ingredients and salt and pepper. But because this isn't egg, I'm going to get a little fancier. I'm going to add, this is about a heaping teaspoon of fresh dill. Dill will be nice to garnish it with. But this is the black salt, which is really, it's so sulfury, it's crazy. It's really fine. Be careful with it. It is salt. How salty is it? Ooh. Wow, don't eat it by itself. Ew! Tastes like rotten eggs. Putting it right in there. Because that's what I want it to taste like, rotten eggs. It's salt, so don't go crazy with your salt. Season that to taste, because that might be too much. Oh, I don't have fucking pepper. Hold on. Pepper. And pepper. Ooh, that was a lot. Don't eat that black salt naked. Hoofa. Okay. Mix it up. So despite my best efforts to make this firm, it's a little less firm than is ideal. And I have no way to thicken it really without just adding more chickpeas. So I'm just going to wing it. I'm going to try one. I'm going to use this big, ugly one. So I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to put a little egg on it. Now, you know, if you watch this channel, that I don't like to eat things on camera because I find it vulgar. I'm going to, as is tradition, put a little paprika. This is, oops, that was too much. This is Hungarian sweet paprika. You could use smoked paprika, you could use regular paprika. I have a soft spot for this particular Hungarian because it's from a city in Hungary called, I don't know how to say it, S-Z-E-G-E-D, Szeged. Anyway, my French bulldog, who died 2 years ago, was born, and I didn't know it until I bought him. I did buy him. He's the only dog I ever bought from a breeder. He was born in this town, so I have a soft spot. And I guess I should have saved some of the dill from under here. There we go. All right, so there it is. That is it. I am going to taste it for you now. I mean, I wonder how much pickle taste this mushroom has. It isn't the prettiest thing I ever saw in my life. But she seemed to like it, so let's see. Here we go. Wow. I like it. I like it. See what I'm saying? Wow. It's fucking convincing. Okay. That doesn't taste too pickly. Because people put pickle relish in their egg for deviled eggs, that's not a problem. This, on its own, is heavily of chickpea. The dill is very good. I recommend the dill in there. The dill is a powerful flavor. Maybe it needs some more of the salt. That was really good, I gotta say. Good on that girl for conjuring this up in her dreams. Yeah, I'm going to double dip in this because nobody's going to eat it but me, so. FTW. Okay. That's enough of this. That definitely upped the eggy taste of it, and any more would be, I'd be making that face I made earlier. Wow. That is good, and that wasn't difficult. I just soaked, like I said, I soaked these mushroom caps, just the cap without the stem, in pickle juice overnight, and you saw me make the filling, and that was great. I guess what I would recommend maybe is get the whitest mushrooms you can find. These were a little, they weren't perfectly beautiful white mushrooms when I bought them. They didn't have any perfectly beautiful white ones when I was at the store yesterday. The whiter the mushroom, the better, and also maybe water the pickle juice down a little bit so it's not as green. Or if you've got a pickle juice, like a pickle where the juice isn't as green as that, like these big commercial pickle companies have really green juice, but some of the smaller craft pickles, small batch pickles, have less green in the juice. But those juices have a very specific taste too. This is a big hit. I would serve this to my friends. It's convincing. It was easy. I miss deviled eggs. It's fucking great. So there you go. Good on you, Tabitha Brown. And yeah. Please subscribe. My next episode on this channel, sniff, 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 I feel like I'm Don Jr., is another borrowed recipe. I'm going to make another thing I miss from Bosch. They did a baked salmon which I'm going to do next. So gotten a little lazy in the creativity department and was super curious about these things I saw them do, so I thought I'd try them in front of you. And that is that. All right, I'm rambling. Please subscribe, be safe, wear a mask, be nice to each other. People are just fucking ugly and savage out there, and it's really scary. So be safe and take care of yourself and take care of other people. You wear a mask, not for yourself. You wear a mask to keep other people from getting your shit. So, all right, thanks. Bye-bye.